and welcome to I don't even have check 1 2 3. Welcome to Roto Hackers Podcast. This is the strangest timeline, and we are your guides, at least through the fantasy football aspect of things. Whatever. I am Judah Buddha, and I'm here with AJ Herschel, the kid, and it's I started too
You
high.
had it. You had it.
I'll just start. It's Jared. There we go. And he is the ultimate stud of all time nationwide. We are here. We actually have Thomas H. sitting in the wings, already laid down some comments. Let's get this party started. I don't know why I have so much energy tonight.
That's good. I hope you've got enough for me and you both, because
You were dragging tonight, huh?
yeah, I got up like super early. Like I woke up, I had a bunch of work I had to do, and then so I got up at like 4:30 in the morning, and then I stayed up, and then I went back to sleep at, I don't know, maybe from like 10 till noon. I mean, working from home, it's just like crazy hours and stuff. And so I thought maybe I caught up on it a little bit, but I don't know.
You can't get away from it though, right?
Right. Yeah. I was talking to somebody else about that, where it's like, there's no real, you can kind of make your own hours, but then it never really kind of stops either. So.
Yeah. How about you, AJ Herschel?
I don't know. Quarantine's treating me fine so far. I mean, I don't know. Just reading, writing stuff, trying to stay sane. So I'm all right.
I already talked to you about getting you in the studio to do some video editing. Maybe I was looking through our videos, I was saying to myself, we need to get all these on the audio, like on Apple Podcasts,
Mm-hmm.
And then I looked at how much content we have to catch up on, and I gave up on that. I didn't realize we have a ton of content.
Yeah.
So instead, I'm just going to get AJ Herschel's help, and we're going to sit down and cut some of this stuff up.
Mm-hmm. Like we're somewhere in the range, I think, if you include last year, of 68 episodes this year and last year, something like that. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, couldn't you just, how there's there are converters, like there's online converters where you can convert YouTube videos to MP3s or WAV files, just like by throwing the link in there. Like, wouldn't that be just a quick, I don't want to take work away from AJ here, but couldn't you just punch all those in there, and then it would download them as like WAV files or MP3 files?
Yeah, that's not the hard part. So you'd have to download them from YouTube, download them into that. Then you have to download them. I download them into archive.org. Okay. And then you have to take that. You have to take the right. You have to go through and find the right link and enter it into each post that and put a little title. I mean, if you're not lazy, write a little. But I rarely write a little, a little description or something. And so each one takes a good 10 minutes. So 60 times 10 minutes. That's like way over 1 million. So I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, that's just math.
It's funny you bring that up. I looked this up on Google just to see what would come up, and apparently some Russian website has us streaming. I don't know if it's an extension of like another podcast site that we put it on. And I haven't filtered it through Google Translate yet, but I'm very curious to see what they're saying about us.
Interesting. Those Russian hackers.
We're going to find out that like this podcast is just like a front for some like shady international dealings from Judah. Like this is just his cover for everything.
I'm laundering money from my candy business. So sorry guys. All right, what am I? Okay, there we go. All right. Well, we have some comments. Thomas H. lamenting the fact that this is the longest off season ever. Well, that's
Mhm.
because it's the strange. What do you guys call it? The darkest
stupidest-
The
timeline.
stupidest timeline.
The
Yeah.
stupidest timeline ever. He
Yeah.
also says it's really sad when the biggest news story of the off season is
It could be worse. It could be worse.
not to me. I'm with Thomas H here. Like you
I
guys are
think
like,
it could be
I can't believe it. I'm like, it looks exactly like the last one. I don't know what you guys are freaking talking about. It's like a different yellow. Oh no.
Did you take the Wonderlic yet?
No.
I re-emailed it to you.
I know. Actually, I was looking through my emails to find the code to get in to StreamYard, and I was like, "Oh, I saw your email." So I was like, "Do I have time?" And then you popped on, so I was like, "Guess not."
Gotcha.
I'll take it. How long does it take?
10, 12 minutes, right? It's a 12-minute test, I think.
I think you get 12 minutes. Yeah.
Yep.
Got to eat my Wheaties first.
Mm.
Okay, so for first question, I just want to probe. So some of us have taken a little, have done a little drafting already. Have you done any kind of drafting, any kind of mock drafting or anything, AJ Herschel?
Mostly mock drafting. Just that's pretty.
Okay,
I haven't drafted any real leagues yet, but just mock drafting.
All right, what do you guys think of doing a little mock draft together today, where we take turns in discussing who we would pick at that round?
Yeah, I'm down.
Sure. Are you talking about like going into an actual mock draft or?
No, using the draft
Wizard.
simulator. Yeah, draft
Oh, okay.
wizard.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But before that, I want to get your guys' take on something. Not take. I just want to get your guys' I don't know. Who are some players that you are souring on, or that are sort of rising for you as you hear a little buzz, as you see how things are developing? Go. I'll give you an example.
Jared, or?
Oh, yeah, you go, Jared.
Well, I was going to say one that I noticed is just dropping in a lot of people's rankings, going from like 3rd round pick to 6th round pick potentially or so, is one of your guys, Judah, Devin Singletary, in Yahoo's new composite rankings. He is 53.
Who? I missed that. Who?
Devin Singletary.
He's down to 53?
He's down to 53. Yeah.
Why in the world?
I think it's a combination of they think Zach Moss is going to get a fair amount of carries.
Why would Zach Moss get it after a whole year of them not letting Singletary get it?
Well, I don't know what I'd have to look up Moss's size, but I mean Singletary's not a big guy. He's 5'7", and he does weigh 203. So I mean, but he's not a big guy. They've also got Josh Allen there to do QB sneaks in short yardage situations. So I think people are just thinking that it's going to be a limited upside between Allen stealing touchdowns and Moss, getting the work that Frank Gore was getting, or maybe more.
Okay. All right. So he is falling in your estimation as well.
I think so. I mean, well, I think he will just because. I think he will just because. I mean, anytime you've got multiple analysts knocking him down lower, then people are just going to adapt to that trend. But yeah, I mean, I am worried about him myself too. I don't know. I have no idea what that situation will look like. So yeah, he's definitely a guy that is down for me. Another guy that I'm just kind of leery of is right now at 37 in Yahoo's rankings is Jonathan Taylor.
I like calling them Rankies. My little Rankies.
Oh.
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor. I'm that's one of mine. You just stole one of mine, but yeah.
Yeah, if he had that backfield all to himself, I mean, he could be at minimum like a top 5 pick. But
I think Mac has it.
Mac and Naheem Hines, I think, is still going to get work on receiving downs. So I think that's just crazy to take him that high. Unless, I mean, if Mac gets injured or something, then it's going to look really good. But him, CEH in Kansas City at 20, he's still at 23. Just Damian Williams. I don't think Damian Williams is going to go away. So, a lot of these rookie running backs, and then I guess Singletary's is he a second or third year guy?
Singletary's second.
Second year. Yeah, second. So, I would probably feel better about taking Singletary at CEH's spot or Taylor's spot. I don't want to take any of them where they're ranking them. But that just those really scare me. So those are the ones that are, that the more I think about it, the more I'm bumping them down. I guess just a couple real quick that I, am liking better is I'm starting to like Melvin Gordon a little bit better, just based on the rest of the field. I still don't know what that Broncos offense with Drew Lock is going to look like. I don't know how many touches Philip Lindsay is going to get, but just based on the fact that, most of the running backs that I trust will be off the board probably by end of the second, top of the third round. And so then you got to start looking for a third running back. And so you've got some guys like Melvin Gordon and Chris Carson. Gordon's at 32. Chris Carson's at 36 in the rankings. Todd Gurley is actually now bumped down to 38.
Okay, well, you're going to talk about everybody at some point.
I'm just mentioning the ones that have. I'm just pointing out where they are.
Yeah.
So
I mean, we're going to see that in the mock. So, but your three then are, to sum up.
So the ones that I'm liking better than would be Gordon, and Gordon, Mostert, and James Conner, because Mostert is, I think, gonna get most of the work in San Francisco, and then Conner, I swore I would never go back to him again, but I didn't realize that the landscape would look like what it does this year with all these backfilled by committees. And I know Pittsburgh could have one too, but I think they'll give him a crack at it, and maybe, even the most injury prone players can have a good, a lucky year where they don't really get hurt. So as a 5th round pick or something, that's not terrible.
Yeah, that's great. I like that. AJ Herschel.
Here's one of the things that I've really been questioning, and I think that, especially with all the rookies coming in, I'll just say this. I think rookie running backs in mock drafts right now are completely overrated, especially since a lot of them are in either running back tandems or committees. So I think it's, especially with Jonathan Taylor, like you guys said, sitting in the 20s. DeAndre Swift isn't super far behind. I find that way too high at this rate. Until preseason comes around, I wouldn't take any of them very, very high. One of the people I'm worried about a little bit is Darius Geis, who's currently sitting at 69 in Yahoo's rankings, which is late 7th round.
Yeah,
I wouldn't take him there. I wouldn't take him there at all. I wouldn't take him to 8th or 9th round. And hear me out. It's because A, he's in Washington. B, Rivera's a defensive guy, so I wonder if they're going to focus more on that side of the ball. C, they picked up Peyton Barber in free agency. And then D, Darius Geis has had 3 knee injuries in 2 years. And all of that just keeps piling on top of it and piling on top of itself. and I don't like it. It scares me away from Darius Geis. It's the situation, the injuries, and now Peyton Barber's behind him. He's probably one of the guys I really.
They have a rookie too that's been sort of talked about. I don't know who it is.
Gibson. I think it's Antonio Gibson's is his name, and they talked. I think he was a 4th round pick, maybe, and they spoke pretty highly of him.
Mm-hmm. There you go. I'm concerned. I'm very concerned.
Interesting.
One guy I'm really high on, who I've been high on for a long time, but he's sitting kind of like I think around a 10th, 11th pick, is James White. And I think he could be one of the biggest steals of the draft this year. You've got Jarrett Stidham at quarterback. We don't know anything about what he's going to do. The Patriots have never been super big on throwing deep balls, and especially you've got a new quarterback coming in. The AFC East is going to be – you're going to have to play the Bills twice. That's already hard. And the Patriots have, I think, 5 primetime games this year. So I'm expecting a lot of checkdowns. So I'm expecting a lot to James White, who I think I'm excited about James White a lot. I know he's one of my guys kind of consistently every year. He's like, look, he's not necessarily going to get you 50 points a game, but he'll get you a solid 10, and you can just slot him in at flex and not be concerned about him.
Where can you get him now? What round?
About 10th or 11th round right now. I really, really like his value there a lot. Especially if you go, I know Thomas H did this in a mock draft we had, I think. He went Sony and James White. See if one of them works out, see what happens. You've got one. The Patriots are going to have some kind of rushing attack. And I much rather take James White, who's involved in the passing game, over, what's his name, Sony Michel, who I don't even know how many running backs Belichick's got behind him at this point. So I'm really, really high on James White.
Okay.
As normal.
Oh, okay, as per usual, huh?
Yeah.
All right. So who was your other one?
Darius Geis.
Oh, Geis. You were low on Geis and high on White. Okay. My two. I've really risen on Josh Allen. I know I've already, here and there said how much I love him, but I am liking him more and more. I saw. To the discussion about what was his name? Devin Singletary. Devin Singletary. I just think they're going to have a dynamic team. I'm seeing reports about him and Josh. So Josh Allen is going down to Florida. He's going to start practicing with Brown and Diggs. I don't know. I'm just feeling really good about that team. I think they're really putting the effort in. It is going to be interesting to see how, one, people do without a crowd, and two, how they do without very much, what do you call, preseason.
Yeah.
So the one I'm also really high on right now, because I've heard a lot of good commentary about, is Swift. I am amazed at how many people are talking about Swift now, not necessarily because of the team he landed in, but because of his tape in college, and just all the buzz that's coming from coaches and stuff that talked about him before he got drafted. And then on top of that, I'm hearing that he's the guy there, not old
Carry on.
Yeah,
carry on. Old 3 years.
Carry on my way. Anyway, so let's who am I souring on? Oh, another person that I'm getting, you actually mentioned him, Jared, was I can't remember for the Colts, Heisman or whatever his name is.
Nyheim
Hines. Yeah, sorry.
I mean, in a deeper league, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think if Mac goes down, and if it's a full point or half point PPR, I think Heisman Award or whatever his name is getting stuck in my head now.
Hines.
Hines. I think Hines catch up.
Overcomplicating it.
I think Hines Ketchup is going to be catching up the ball. I got nothing. We need to get to the mock draft.
I do want to say something though on a comment you made while you're pulling it up, which I think is really interesting. When you're talking about stadiums and how fans aren't going to be there, I think that could be huge for a lot of teams. Because how hard is it to go into places like CenturyLink, Seattle, Arrowhead, Lambeau, Soldier Field, places with fans that are insane? Quarterbacks are going to be able to hear themselves perfectly now.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's going to be a lot easier for teams in tougher divisions, or so teams like Denver or Oakland or LA to go at, maybe not Oakland, teams like Denver and the Chargers and the Lions to go into a tough stadium and win because they're not going to have the problems they previously had. I think weather's going to play a much bigger factor, and we could see a lot of upsets we weren't expecting.
You just blew my mind with that statement. I had not heard anybody say it or even thought about the fact that quarterbacks are going to have they're going to hear, their guys are going to hear everything they say. There's not going to be very many miscommunications.
Yep.
Who does that work out? That probably works out way better for wide receivers, right?
Mm-hmm. Less miscommunication, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because, I mean, you could have, a teams, of course, typically are going to be, having a better advantage at home. Now, the home field advantage is, assuming that there aren't fans and assuming that they're not like piping in crowd noise or something, the home field advantage is largely gone other than forcing a team to travel a little bit. And then I think sometimes that could actually help them. Like they're away from home and they're away from distractions and stuff like that. So yeah, it really does become a lot more interesting in terms of sort of nullifying, it's like every field is, it's not even that every field is a neutral field. It's like every field is a neutral field, but you're also providing, a bigger advantage for offenses. So I wonder, like, could we see like historic offensive numbers?
This could be, you're right.
Yeah.
Wow. I do think though that there is something about not playing in your home field that doesn't have to do with the crowd. That being away, sleeping not in your bed, not having your same routines.
Mm-hmm.
But to your point, I remember somebody mentioning, it was one of the analysts I like, he said, I've had kids before. And this was when, this was a couple years ago. And what's his name? Drew Brees had just his wife had just had a baby. And he's saying, I think he's going to really struggle more at home this year. And he did. He did a lot better away. And he said, it's the timing of when his baby came. It just seems like when he's home, he's going to be changing diapers late at night, and it's not going to help. I don't know if that really was a thing, but there are sometimes things that distract you at home. It is true.
Right. Yeah.
Well, about the draft, what position, what spot do you guys want to draft at?
7. I don't know. There is no number.
I always draft a 7. Can we not draft a 7? Every one of my drafts has been 7 or 8.
Every one of mine has been just about 3.
Oh my goodness!
How about
you want
about
to do 10?
4? No, let's not. Let's do it
5?
more. Let's do it more towards. Let's do it more towards the middle. Let's do 5 because if you're at the far end of a round, it just skews your whole draft.
Okay. All right. I figured I'd put two RBs, 2 wide receivers, a tight end, and a flex.
We have 2 flexes right now.
Oh yeah, we do. What is the standard?
I think it's wide receiver, running back, tight end.
Yeah, so take off that one wide receiver RB. Yeah, there you go. Let's just do it just like normal.
Yeah. Okay, and I put it half point PPR, so let's do it.
All right.
Can you guys see the whole screen?
Yep, I'm good.
I think so, yeah.
Oh man, no, I don't want to do this. Okay. Tour, what the? Just let me draft. Oh, another person I am really getting higher on, much to my chagrin, is Ezekiel Elliott. I don't know, man. Something about him. Okay, so already taken. What the heck? Oh,
Yeah,
already
Jim.
taken. Huh?
I ju-
So wow, Henry went first, then Ezekiel Elliott. No, wait, no, that's not true. Okay, McCaffrey, Barkley, Henry at 3, Elliott at 4. Oh wow!
Yeah.
See,
All right.
they're just catching up to me. See, I was originally my team, my first team I drafted. I took Henry at 3. I'm just like, I think that's how it would go. They're they're a month or two behind, but that's all right.
I really want to go with the Jared pick here with Michael Thomas, and then get or a Devontae Adams. Up to you guys. Like get a hard hitting wide receiver, and then move on. And then just really hit the RBs hard.
Yeah, I agree. I think because I mean, if Dalvin Cook could stay healthy, but you can't take it. Kamara, I'm still not convinced of what we're going to get from him. So I think you take the safe pick with Thomas in round 1.
Same here.
You want Thomas, not Adams.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Especially me. I'm just thinking Green Bay's becoming a running team, and no.
Okay, we took him.
I still like Devontae Adams, but the other thing you got to think about in New Orleans is if Drew Brees goes down, then Jameis Winston comes in.
That is
if Aaron Rodgers goes down, I don't know what you're gonna really get.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I hadn't thought of that.
Real
Wow.
quick before we go to our next thing, we got Ryan in our comment section here.
What do you say?
YouTube notification system so bad I didn't even get one.
I've heard a lot of YouTubers
Yeah.
complain about this. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Maybe we should start. Maybe I should do a Facebook. Do we have a Facebook page? Maybe
We have a Twitter
Facebook
page, I think, that we just
Yeah,
never use.
I never use it. Or I think I use it for like other things.
Yeah. Yeah, we're glad you're here, Ryan, and we're glad you made it.
Ryan, let us know. Are you on any social media that would help if we went on that you'd be able to get a notification from that? Okay, so for our next pick now, I'm going to give myself a little more weight here because you guys overruled me on the Devontae Adams.
Oh, you didn't know. You didn't.
You
You
didn't
didn't act like
You're
you
right.
wanted
Get outta here with
Devontae
that.
Adams.
Okay, but I like Kanye Drake, Kenyon Drake here.
Well, that's who I would say too. I mean, I trust Travis Kelce more, but the fact that we went wide receiver in round 1, like I think you got to start taking. I think you need to come out of the first 3 rounds with 2 running backs.
Are there any other ones you like here? I like Gurley here, but I know you're souring on Gurley a little. I like. This is tough. I'd go Drake. Eckler. You guys like Eckler.
I like Eckler, but I think Drake has the higher upside on stuff.
Plus, we know what quarterback Drake's going to be with this year. And with Gurley, I think we can take him next round. I'd say Drake.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything interesting about who's been taken already? Anything stand out to you? It looks pretty.
Adams fell.
Yeah, he really did.
Yeah, Godwin above Adams is interesting.
Huh.
The fact that Miles Sanders was the first pick of the 2nd round,
He's really rising.
Over Aaron Jones.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Everybody else seems to be about right. I'm surprised Josh Jacobs didn't go up here instead of Godwin or somebody. Instead of Mixon. I mean, come on.
I think with Jacob, Mixon honestly is really shocking to me going that high. But I mean, Jacobs, I think a lot of people are worried. He's in Vegas. We don't really know what their situation is going to be. I don't know. John Gruden's got a 10-year plan, and we're only in like year 4. So I don't know.
Okay.
Jacobs is the only person I trust on that roster.
All right. Uh-oh. Clyde the Glide went. All right. So who went? Let's see. Eckler went. Tyreek and Eckler went. Yeah.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire. What on earth?
That's really, really high. I think the experts have him just like you guys were saying, have him way too high.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if he somehow ended up being the featured back there, oh my goodness, then it's going to be completely worth it. But I just don't think that's going to happen.
And what are the odds of? It just seems like what are the odds of lightning striking twice with like another hunt situation? You know, it just seems
Minimal.
a little too iffy to me. But you never know. Okay, I'm thinking another.
We'll go to the all positions. Let's see.
Oh
who
yeah,
all's available.
yeah.
Hmm.
Ooh, I'm kind of looking at
The
Lamar.
Kittle is staring at me.
Who?
Kittle. I'm the guy. See, I'm the guy who every year makes my friends mad by taking Kelsey literally every season because I like having a solid tight end there. But since we've talked a lot about how this is a deeper tight end draft, I think I'm okay with letting him slide here.
Who? Kittle?
Kittle. Yeah, I think so.
I like Lamar. I like Gurley.
Madden curse. You can't take Lamar.
All right. What do you think, Jared or AJ?
I mean, I would be okay with any of those three, with Kittle, Lamar, or Gurley, because I feel like, running back is more important. You need more running backs this year, but I kind of don't like Gurley at this spot that much. But I mean, I think you can make a case for any of those three. I'm fine with any of them.
So we have Michael Thomas and Kenyon Drake. I'm feeling like we're a little weak at running. I mean, I don't feel hugely solid at running back right now. There's a little question marky, so I don't know if that means, I don't know what that means, but I kind of want to take Gurley.
Yeah,
I'm fine with Gurley.
Okay, let's do Gurley. Almost did Carson. Yikes.
See, here's the funny thing. I was telling Jared one time about the possibility of us doing a full Roto Hackers team, like just the three of us having to manage one team. And he was just like, no, we're going to completely disagree. And I was thinking, well, it could work. And then I remembered you have a minute to make a draft pick. And then all those thoughts left my head.
I should have put a timer on. I forgot.
Oh,
Hey,
Lamar's
Lamar's still there. We got to take him, right?
That would be so interesting if he actually started being available. Yeah, I think. I mean, for me, let's see, who else is there at running back?
Gordon, Bell. I mean, that's some solid picks here.
Yeah. But I mean, for Lamar to be there at that spot, like,
I feel like we. What do you think? What do you think, AJ?
I mean, the Madden curse is screaming at me, but Patrick Mahomes broke it. And look, Lamar is just too overpowered not to do well this year. He's got at least 2 more years before a serious injury.
Okay, what about 2 more years? Let's go. I want to look at this real quick. Oh, don't need it that big. What do you guys think about some of these guys that went? You got Kittle right after us, Cooper Kupp, Beckham.
Mahomes went first.
That's a little crazy.
But I'm seeing him going first in a fair number of drafts. Yeah. Let's see.
DJ Moore went really well. I guess we're getting Lamar Jackson the 4th round. That's crazy.
Yeah, I would take that.
All right, let's do it. Let's see what happens. This is going to be like the best team ever. So it's going to fail. All right, let's see. Let's go to the all. I like Calvin Ridley.
Well,
I like Bell.
I don't know if I like Bell. What other running backs are available?
Not much. I'm starting to get a little higher on James Conner, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, same. I like Ridley fine here. What about tight ends? Who's available? Andrews is gone.
Yeah, he went in the 3rd round really early. Where'd he go? Right here. No, 4th round. Okay.
Yeah, that's usually where he's going.
Right before we picked Jackson.
I would be fine with Ridley. I don't know what Ertz is going to do this year.
I don't like Ertz.
I don't trust Bell really.
Okay.
I
Let's
kind
just
of.
go Ridley. He's got to have a breakout year this year, right?
I mean, he was on upward trend. He did pretty well last year. I mean, he just got
Yeah.
hurt, missed the last few games, but.
Mm.
I mean, he wasn't any like John Brown, but all right, let's go ahead and take him. All right.
David
Oh.
Johnson.
So, by the way, that's another one I'm following on is DK Metcalf.
Yep,
I was looking
same
at
here.
his schedule, and he's got a brutal schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Now, see here, I think I like Connor to get that. Well, let's see. Look at the running backs. See which running backs are available because I think.
Yeah, I like Connor,
I think-
or I like Singletary or Swift. I like
Yeah.
Swift here.
I think Mostert's already gone. Yeah, I'd
Mm.
be good with any of those. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Moster's still here. Moster's still here.
Oh, Mostert is there. Yeah, I don't know.
You like him?
I like Mostert. I'll let you decide. I'm okay with most of those. I don't have a strong feeling about any. I guess I like Connor and Mostert better maybe than others, but I'll be right back.
Okay.
Gotcha.
What about you, AJ Herschel, the kid?
See, I'm looking at this and I see also Connor worries me because if I'm doing this like I'm drafting a real team here, and he's got a bye week 8, and I'm pretty sure that red symbol means we've got someone else on bye.
Well,
And I know
let's
you're
take a
not
look.
as worried about that as I normally am. I'm typically pretty self-conscious about it.
We have Lamar
Lamar
Jackson
and
and
Kenyon.
Kenyon. That's not that bad.
Yeah. I'm just thinking, like, do I want to have 1 week where my starting quarterback and 2 out of my top 3 running backs are gone?
To me, it's between Swift and Mostert.
Yeah, I think I'm. It's like I'm looking at them, and I want to say we can take one of them later, but I don't think so. And as much as we're talking about wide receivers being taken later, I think we should take one of them. I would say Mostert because as much as I love Swift, and as much as he's a Georgia Bulldog, and as good as he is, and I think he'll be great in the Lions offense, Carry-On is still there, and Mostert is the undisputed number 1.
Okay.
I think I'd say Mostert, even though I love Swift.
I wonder if Mostert will fall.
I don't know. What's his average draft? Do they have an ADP up here?
Yeah, his ADP. Well, they call it his ECR is 59. Oh wait, no, what's his ADP? They don't have it. It's interesting.
Interesting. We could probably maybe.
Oh wait, where is it? Where'd he go? Where'd most? Oh, okay, here he is. Okay, so his worst and his best. I don't know what these are.
That is interesting. I don't know. I mean, at this point, we've got 2 solid running backs in Drake and Gurley, I think, so we could go Swift and take a risk, see if he blows it big. I don't know. What are you feeling?
What are you saying? Going with who?
I'm saying maybe Swift, just because we've got Drake and Gurley. Maybe see if he hits it big. I don't know.
I like Swift here. I like Swift. Although Mostert, maybe we need. Actually, now I'm rethinking it because we have so many question marks with Todd Gurley and with Kenyon.
I have less question marks on Kenyon, I think, though, because I as you guys know, I'm high on the Cardinals offense, but yeah, that's a good point though, especially with Gurley as big of a question mark as he is. You're
and I think
right.
Mostert would be like a real solid, even though he might not be a elite. You're not going to get elite in this 5th round, anyways, right?
Yeah, I think Mostert. Yeah.
All right, let's go Mostert.
How do you pronounce his name? Mostert. I've always said Mostert. I don't know.
I call him Colonel Mostert.
Colonel Mostert. All right. Clue: who injured Ben Roethlisberger?
Where'd he go? Okay, we're gonna draft him. Boom.
All right, there we go.
Okay, we got a little. A lot of quarterbacks coming off the board here.
Interesting. And we could take Swift now if we wanted. He's still there.
I want to.
He's still there. What are the wide receivers though? I am curious because we've got
yeah,
Thomas and Ridley.
Oh, I love some TY here.
Really interesting. What about tight end?
What
about tight end?
Yeah, we are running low. I like Mike Gesicki.
I do like Gesicki. I think we could
Grant-
take him a little bit later.
Gronkowski's still there.
We could probably wait at tight end, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure Gesicki or Gronkowski is going to fall.
Oh.
And Jared Cook, it's interesting they
Yeah.
put it. Hey, there he is. So
Yeah.
we took Mostert, and we're on our next pick, and Swift has still fallen to us. So we're trying to find out, do we want him or a wide receiver?
Who are the wide receivers that are there?
Judah Booty, can we get a click on the wide receivers real quick?
Yeah. Sorry.
There we go. Oh, right.
I think we've got some really good wide receivers here. I love Ty. I love Scorin McLaurin. I don't mind AJ. So these two right here are my favorites. Compared to the running backs, I would love to take Swift or Singletary.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. The tight ends are not very attractive to me here. I'm like,
Same.
they're just as good as the next round, you know?
Right, you're right. When we get to this point, like I don't really trust any of those guys that well, and I would just as soon wait for like Hayden Hurst is the guy that I really like. I'm curious to see where he's going to go in, real money league drafts, because I think he's going to go higher than what he's going to go in mock drafts and stuff like that. But I think he will do as well or better. I mean, if Higbee gets the kind of targets that he got last year, then he could really do something. But yeah, I would say probably still go with either, running back or a receiver.
I want to go with Swift. I haven't
over
done.
Ty.
I like Ty. I don't know. What do you think, Jared? Ty is your guy.
I mean, I think just the way running backs are this year, especially, like I think last year I just saw like how replaceable receivers were,
Okay.
and that was even with a deeper running back group than what we've got this year. So I would say running back. I'm okay with Swift. Swift, it's not even Kerryon Johnson that really scares me. It's just the fact that the Lions backfield the Lions can't ever seem to use their backfield effectively. But as much as James Conner gets injured, I mean, I'm fine. I'm fine with Swift.
Okay. Any big objections to Swift?
He's a Georgia Bulldog, so I mean that's already 50% of my go.
All right, no objections. We should have looked at who had been drafted before to see who was off the board.
Ty just left, but I think Scary Terry might still be there. Nope, he's gone. Dang it.
Who's left? So we picked Swift there.
Yep.
So look at the receivers then to see who's there. Is Debo still there? AJ Green and Debo.
I mean, Gallup. Gallup is my man. But you like Debo?
Or even Green. Like Green could be a steal if he's healthy. I mean, he burned people so much last year that people are reluctant to trust him. But let's look at his injury history real quick here. So, I mean, he's had, the problem for Green is like 2 of the last 3 years, he played 10 games in 2016 and then 9 in 2018. And then he was hurt all of last year. So 3 of the last 4 years have been pretty rough. I mean, the thing with Gallup is now with CeeDee Lamb there, I don't know what that looks like. Debo, like I feel pretty good about Debo.
He's probably the safest out of those 3.
Even Gallup?
CeeDee Lamb.
CeeDee Lamb, nothing, man. Debo's got like 100 other wide receivers to deal with.
No, Debo's the unquestioned number one wide receiver in San Francisco.
I don't think so.
Yeah. See, funny thing, I looked up AJ Green's injury history, and he has had. I just looked at like the chart that shows like where he's gotten injured on his body, and it's literally all over. He's had 4 foot injuries, 2 knee injuries, 1 hamstring injury, 1 groin injury, 1 back tailbone injury, 1 arm injury, a chest injury, a shoulder injury, and then to top it all off, a concussion. He's half cyborg at this point. He has to be.
All right, yeah, I don't. I mean, you don't have to tell me much to get off of AJ Green. Although we have to look at the fact that this is round 8. I mean,
I think maybe Debo at this point. As much as I love AJ Green, and yes, he's a Georgia Bulldog, the injuries worry me, and I don't know how good he's going to be in year 1 with Burrow. At least we know with Debo what we're getting at quarterback. So I think he's
you
safe.
You guys are way too high on Debo.
I'm just looking at it. It's safest pick to me. He's the number 1. Gallup is with 2 other guys, and Green has a new quarterback and injuries. So that's my pick.
I don't know. Even with Green's injuries, I think like there's a point for me where I like each round that goes by, I start going more from like safest pick to most upside.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, if Green is healthy and Burrow has a good season, I mean, you know, you could have a second round pick type numbers out of him. And if he's not, what have you lost? An 8th round pick. So I'm more inclined. I do like Debo. I think you're underrating Debo. But I don't know that he's got the upside of AJ Green if he's healthy. Gallup, I would have loved him. I would have loved him if they hadn't drafted CeeDee Lamb.
I don't think CeeDee Lamb's going to be that much of a. I think Gallup's going to be the number 1. CeeDee Lamb's going to be the number 2, and Cooper's going to be the number 3.
They did not pay Amari Cooper all that money to make him the number 3 wide receiver.
They didn't make him the number 3 wide receiver. He made himself by being consecutively worse and worse every year with his route running. I don't know if he's getting lazy or injured or what, but he is doing worse and worse every year. He did a little bit better. He had a spike when he got traded to Dallas at first. But even then, it was like one game he had 4 fantasy points. The next game he had 30. He's always been boomer bust.
Mm-hmm.
He used to be, at least he used to be a good route runner. He's not anymore. Unless he gets better this year. Maybe it was just injuries. I don't know.
I don't know that it was just injuries, but I just think CeeDee Lamb is poised to do well. There's just a lot of mouths to feed there.
How do you go from last year saying he's a rookie wide receiver, I don't know, to this year?
Which ones?
Last year, every wide receiver who was a rookie, you're like, you know how rookie wide receivers are, and I'd be like,
right, but I'm not advocating for drafting CeeDee Lamb. I'm saying he's going to take production from other people.
All right, that's a good argument. All right, I will go with Debo Samuel since he seems to be a little bit more consensus. How do you like our team so far? So we got Lamar Jackson, Kenyon Drake at running back, Todd Gurley at running back, Michael Thomas, Calvin Ridley. I'm not loving our team.
No,
Really?
I like it. I like it okay.
I like it okay. I love our wide receiver. I love 2 of our wide receivers. I'm just feeling a little shaky about our running backs.
See, this is why I don't know how many snake drafts I'm going to do, because like we get to like the 3rd round and I'm like, ugh. And so like in an auction,
it's like 4th or 5th. The second round's not
No, it's third round for me. Like when by the time, well, there's some receivers there that I like DJ Moore and stuff.
The second round was like Aaron Jones, Nick Chubb, Julio Jones,
Well, but no, I mean,
Kenyon Drake.
there's
I'm
other
like,
guys too. No, I'm fine with Drake. I'm fine with Miles Sanders. I'm fine with Josh Jacobs. They're a round higher than I'd rather take them, but I'm still okay with them. And then we get to like the middle of the third round, and
I'm the opposite. I love the third round. Don't like the second round. Travis Kelce, Galladay. These are my favorite players. Kittle.
Travis Kelce went in the third.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Undervalued.
Beckham. He's another one of my favorite. Cooper Kupp. Like if you just gave me all these players, I'd be like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. This draft's going a little bit different than the.
Yeah, it is kind of wonky.
Yeah, some
Well,
of
I mean, we're drafting against computers, so
Yeah. So I don't know exactly, but auction appeals to me more than ever this year because you don't have to take, a second round type guy. You can take a bunch of third round guys or whatever. So, all right, what else we got?
We're done. I'm out of here. I'm upset. No, I'm just kidding. Here we go. What do you want to look at? What should we be filling right now? Backfilling. It seems like we got pretty balanced team at this point, but we don't have any tight ends. We're like really hurting for tight end.
See, I want to say something really interesting here. Round 9, the greatest wide receiver 2 in history, Marvin Jones Jr. went here. I am shocked. MJJ,
right before us,
which I'm bummed about.
I'm not.
But man, he is eerily consistent late season.
You're right. Round 9, he's great, but I kind of feel like we need to put in a tight end here.
I think we can stall one more round. I think maybe.
Okay. In my experience, round 9, it's going to start getting dicey after this. Although we do have our quarterback locked up. So, all right.
Yeah.
So, where do you think we need to fortify? Running back or wide receiver? Running back doesn't look great.
Well, we don't know what the workload's going to be for Keyshawn Vaughn, but I mean, if he's, he's a good upside pick because if he's the guy in Tampa, he could put up some big numbers. I don't trust Sony Michel. Dobbins is in the middle of a mess. Don't trust Carry-On. Jordan Howard, I don't know how that's going to be split with Breida. I would say
let's look at wide receivers.
Wide receiver is not going to be great.
I like these guys.
I like either of the Browns here.
I like either Browns and Sterling Shepard's there.
I would say Marquise because he's the guy, in Baltimore unless they bring in his cousin Antonio, although he would have to sit out some games. If he got signed. Will Fuller, who's the number one wide receiver in that?
Yeah, is it?
You've got
Cook Will Fuller.
Will Fuller, Brandon Cooks, and then you've also got Kenny Stills there.
Stills is there too.
So that's like 3 number 2 or 2 to 3 wide receivers.
They're kind of all the same type of player too.
Yeah,
they're all the like speedy little guys,
speedy little deep ball guys. I mean, Deshaun Watson's going to have to throw every pass that's under 30 yards is going to have to be to a tight end or a running back because none of his receivers are going to know how to catch the ball.
Anywhere within
anything within 30 yards. So so I would say Brown. Although
I like Marquise.
Although for me, there's just more. There's enough depth later that if it was just me doing it, I'd probably take Keyshawn Vaughn just for the potential that if he ended up being
that is interesting.
A featured back. All he's got to do is beat out your guy Rojo.
Yeah, that's not as easy as you think.
I think Rojo, though, I think he'd be more used as a passing down back though, because Vaughn doesn't catch passes. In college, he was a brutal, I will run you over type of guy.
Really?
Yeah, he was. So if you're looking for rushing yards, I'd go Vaughn there.
Yeah, I don't have a strong.
Hmm.
I would say Brown or Vaughn. We've kind of got enough depth to where we could have the luxury of taking either. But the thing is, like, I just don't know in that Ravens offense that how much Brown is really gonna. I think he's gonna have big blow up games, but I think he'll be very streaky. Whereas, I think there's going to be other guys in the later rounds like Darius Slayton. Some of these other guys we've talked about, like Brandon Cooks or
Cooks, yeah. Okay, I like that. All right, what do we take? Let's take Vaughn and then target Cooks.
All right.
Does that sound good?
I do want to mention, though, I'm just looking at the names of the teams on the sides, and it is hilarious. Murray offense, to Kittle, to Brace. Oh, my goodness. These.
Some computer somewhere. How are you guys feeling about Mike Williams?
Not great. Not great.
Why?
He's second fiddle in a team that's either going to have Tyrod, who's a running quarterback, let's not forget, or first-year Justin Herbert, who I know you don't like.
Yeah, he's not going to be playing. But Mike Williams it was the second fiddle. This year, I'm pretty sure he's going to be the first fiddle.
Really?
The fiddler on the roof, if you will.
We also need to look back at tight ends and see who.
That's where I wanted to go, but that's just because of my
still nobody. Like, still nobody's taking those like those guys.
Yeah, I know, but this is where they start taking them.
Well, but who would you want here? Like, I mean, to me,
I like Gesicki. I like Cook. I like Henry.
No. Okay, I'll tell you this though. While we're here, Cook worries me so much because I love him as a player and I love him with the Saints, and he does well at the end of the year. But the Saints traded all of their 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th round draft picks just to trade up to get Adam Troutman tight end.
Really?
Yes. Sean Payton gave away he had 4 rounds left, gave away all those picks to, I think, Minnesota, which is how they ended up with all those picks, just to take Adam Troutman tight end.
Is Troutman that good? Where's he from?
He's from, I think, is he from Dayton?
Dayton? Sounds right. That sounds right.
Weird.
Yes, Dayton. So that's the thing that scares me. When you're that high on a guy that you're willing to trade away all of the rest of your picks, that concerns me.
Yeah. I mean, to me, if you're going to take anybody here, like maybe Higbee, because I mean, the insane volume that he was getting at the end of the year.
He's not going to get that again, though.
The Rams are weird. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, you're right. The Rams are weird. I like Gesicki, but we could probably wait on him.
I like. Well, I don't think we can see because I think Hurst is down below. Let's see.
Yeah, if we could get Hurst.
Or did somebody already take him?
Oh no, I don't think so.
They took Boyd. Oh, that's a different Boyd. Is he just that far down?
Yeah,
I like Doyle too.
There he is.
I like these two.
That is an insane. Like, I think he's going to do well in Atlanta. Matt Ryan, likes to throw to his tight end, and Hurst is a former first-round pick. I think that's going to work out well.
It may, but there's something about him I'm a little worried about, and that is nobody ever liked to pass to him in the Ravens offense.
Well, but I mean, I don't know. Let's see.
I like Jack Doyle better, to be honest with you.
But the problem with Doyle, though, is like they brought in Trey Burton, and I think that ball is going to get spread around a lot in Indy.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Okay, well then let's go. Okay, let's go with the plan. Oh, we don't need that. Okay, let's go with Keyshawn Vaughn and target Brooks our next pick. That sound good? Brooks. What am I saying?
I thought you already took Vaughn. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I'd say take Vaughn.
Okay. See what happens here.
Wow.
That's RB.
Okay.
Well, Breda's there. Slate, yeah, like you said, Slayton. Sterling is still there.
Hmm.
Oh, that's interesting.
I don't know though, because I know Jared, you're higher on Slayton as Daniel Jones is number 1.
Yeah, he
Really?
likes to throw to him in the end zone.
I like Jeffrey too. Who else is there?
Jeffrey's got some good value.
Where's Cooks? He's already gone?
No, I don't. I think he's probably farther on down.
Really? Okay, well, dang. Yeah, there is a lot of. You're right, Jared. There's a lot of nice little depth down here.
Yeah, I mean, it's not guys that you want as your top 2 receivers or maybe your third guy, but like there's a lot of like 4th, 5th, 6th type guys that could end up having great seasons.
Even Deontay Johnson is really kind of catching my eye, and Perriman.
Yeah, Perryman with the Jets.
Huh. Yeah, I don't know. To me, my favorite is probably Alshon. Just because he's got the pedigree, the skill, and who else are they throwing to as a wide receiver?
Right. So all they traded for Marquise Goodwin, but I mean, speedy little guy, didn't even do that much in San Francisco. They've drafted Jalen Reagor, who I don't.
Reagor.
Yeah, but like you were saying before about me and rookie wide receivers, I don't trust him that much. I think he's a little more raw. Deshaun Jackson, if he stays healthy, but yeah, I mean, I think Alshon can, he's not going to be spectacular, but I think he can, routinely give you like 6 catches, 70 yards, and a touchdown, maybe.
It's up to you guys.
Well, are you getting antsy to take a tight end? Who else?
I am, but they didn't take any tight ends. It's the same thing.
He still didn't move. Yeah,
it doesn't change at all.
Higbee.
I'm surprised Gronk hasn't been taken yet.
Higbee's production over the last 4 games last year was just mind-boggling. The last 4 games, his targets were 11, 14, 11, and 12, and he had and that doesn't even count the game before where he only had 8 targets, but he had 100 receiving yards in 4 out of the last 5 games. I mean,
wow.
So you say you want to take him here?
I mean, if they throw to him the way that they did at the end of last year, I don't know if he'll do that. But the thing is, like, they didn't add anything on offense.
That's
you know,
true.
they lost Brandon Cooks, which they weren't throwing to him anyway. But
didn't they add a tight end?
Let's look and see.
I think they added a tight end.
What's it called? After this pick, I actually got to head out real quick. So.
Oh yeah, we gotta go.
No, it's all right. Y'all can finish the draft. I'll tune in, but this is my last one for tonight.
Yeah, I'm sorry. And
Not
Joe's
worry
getting tired too. We need to.
No, they didn't. I mean, they've still got Gerald Everett. You know, I mean, he was hurt, so that was some of the thing. But they added, let's see, Bryce Hopkins, who was a 4th round pick, 4th round pick out of Purdue. So
tight end.
Yeah,
I think they moved up to get him too.
Could be.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't matter. He's not going to do that great. Let's go with Higbee. See what happens.
All right.
We got to hurry anyways. Say for one more?
All right, last one. This is my last one.
Last one. We're going to pick really quick. We're going to go with Drew Brees. No, wait. Jeez, I don't want
the running backs.
None of those running backs.
I can't believe.
Makes me feel better about going 5 running backs, really running back heavy.
Yes.
This draft, there is nothing left.
Yeah, you have to get them early.
You really do. You said that early on, and you are both you guys talked about that. Correct, sirs.
I like Crowder. Like
I do
mean,
too.
Really?
I love Crowder. I love him. In the 10th round, 11th round, yes.
Yeah.
Crow.
Towards the end of the year last year, you remember the it was like it was the playoff, or no, it was the fantasy playoff game where he dropped a touchdown, but then he ended up still catching 2. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
All right, let's go Crowder. Oh wait, you know what? It's your last pick. You pick. AJ. Don't pick Crowder. Don't pick Crowder.
See, my only hesitation to Crowder is that he burned me a lot last year due to being so inconsistent, especially early in the season, and the fact that he basically only caught like 20 yards a game. But I'm just looking at this list, and I'm like, Deontay Johnson, I don't know what the Steelers are going to be like. Sanders, as much as I love him as a player, Breeze never throws to number 2s, like Jared brought up. Yeah, I'd go Jamison Crowder, especially now you've got Darnold. He's come in another year. This is Gase's basically last chance to prove that he's a head coach. If Crowder's going to be big, it's going to be this year.
Wow.
You guys
Okay. Sounds good to me.
So last three games of the season, he had a total of 29 targets for, roughly 216 yards and 3 touchdowns. So maybe, who knows? Maybe he develops.
Can we go Jeffrey here?
Sure, I'm fine with that.
Sure, why not?
Then we probably need to get a tight end after that. But
Okay. Let's just
Also, I just find it funny remembering
look at all
that
the tight ends going. Look at all the tight ends going.
yeah. Gronk's still there. Gaiseki, Hawkinson.
These are actually pretty good. I like this. I say we go with Jonnu or Hawkinson. No, I like Doyle. Hurst.
Yeah, Hurst is still there.
yeah, Atlanta.
But like we don't even, I don't think, have to take him this round because
Just take a tight end.
because we could take 2 tight ends, 2 young guys.
Can I tell you guys that taking Lamar has taken all the pressure off of the 7th through 11th round, 7th through 12th rounds?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's
It really did take a lot of pressure off.
that's an advantage to getting him there because you're not having to worry about, getting your quarterback.
Everybody is taking, it's like taking quarterbacks and tight ends, and who do they take? Well, yeah. Okay. All right. I know
By the way, Thomas H. commented, Sean McVay on Higbee, quote, "We've got big plans for him."
Higbee?
Yes.
We have him, right?
Yeah, we got him. Yeah.
All right. Good. That's
Thomas
good.
H., thank you for validating our draft pick.
I mean, for the volume he was getting last year, he could be. That's better than Travis Kelce. If he did that over a season, he could be tight end 1 or 2. It's crazy.
Yeah, but he's just not that good.
I know. But Jared Goff's not either, and so he's not going to throw.
That's true.
Like Jared Goff needs a 6'6" guy to throw to. So
I want to go with one of these guys. I want to go with Hurst. I don't know.
Yeah. I think I like Hurst because Atlanta, Doyle's got people behind him. Gronk, we don't know. And Gesicki, Will Fitzmagic. I don't know what version of Fitzmagic we're getting.
Okay, and then we just have 2 more, and then we can all say
Kicker
goodbye.
and defense.
Yeah, oh, really? You're gonna do that? All right. What do we get? I'm curious. Who's the kicker that comes up?
You got Butker, Tucker. They're all there.
You got Greg the leg. I like Will Lutz.
Robbie, New Orleans too. Yeah.
Lutz is pretty safe because the Saints do have a little trouble like getting the ball into the end zone sometimes.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Do you see any tight defenses that do something for you?
Not at. I'd probably rather go kicker than defense there. I think we can wait around and
Let's go Lutz. And
Yeah.
then and there's our team. Oh wait, what?
Well, we still got to get the defense.
Which you, Judah Buddha, never take.
I will never take a defense in the draft. Sometimes I will actually. All right, who do we go with? I like the Titans.
Titans are probably have the easiest division out of all of these guys too.
Mm-hmm. They've got the easiest just schedule. Period.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, just like we saw with the Patriots last year, that cupcake schedule that they had early on.
That's the big difference.
That's the difference. Yeah.
Tennessee.
All right. Wow, we did it, guys.
Woo!
Let's see what grade we got. A B minus.
How do we? Does it? Oh, do the projected standings. Do projected.
Oh man, I
I'm
like
not-
the team. Who's number one? Rhaegar.
Targaryen.
Thank you for reminding me.
Rhaegar Targaryen.
So overall, though, so it's grading us better on our bench than it is on.
We
Wow.
did have a pretty good bench. Oh, we can't get that stuff. Okay. Well,
But I mean, we drafted 5th overall, and we have so we basically made par. We made par because we drafted 5th
Yes.
overall and had the 5th best team according.
Par
To,
for the course.
yeah. So at least we didn't bogey it,
well, that was fun, guys.
That was awesome.
I think we should do it again. Probably not next week, but later on when we got nothing to do.
Maybe we talked about this would take a long time on Saturday,
Yeah.
but if we want to do an auction draft, that could be
Are
fun.
they open? Yeah.
I think mock auctions are open.
They're open.
It might be tough to get enough people to fill it, but maybe if some other people, maybe if some other people, some of our viewers joined in, then maybe we could get another 5 people or something to do it. So,
Let's do it.
All
All right,
right.
guys. Jared, get some sleep.
yeah, I got.
AJ, get some sleep. All you guys, I'm gonna get some sleep, but I
There you
always
go.
get my sleep. All right. Care about you guys. Hope you all are well and happy. We'll see you on Saturday.